Good morning, everyone. My name is Sumedh Pathak. I lead the Postgres open source team at Microsoft. This is my first PGConf in India. I'm really excited to be here, so let's dive in. There are four main things I want to talk about today. The Postgres open source project and contributions Microsoft makes to upstream. On the cloud side, Azure Database for Postgres updates and some new product launches. For devs, all the latest and greatest AI features, and finally, the Postgres community work that we've been doing. Let's start with open source. Microsoft loves Postgres. Working shoulder to shoulder with the open source community, Microsoft continues to invest in Postgres. In fact, Microsoft employs 8 committers out of 31 overall, and 20 contributors, including major contributors as well. But you might wonder, why? So why does Microsoft contribute to the Postgres open source project? The way we see it is that it's necessary. Things that benefit the open source project also benefit our downstream customers. We want to invest in the project and the community to make sure it's healthy, evolving, and remains so for years to come. But it might not be obvious that our service also helps the open source project. Azure's vast usage exposes bugs, issues, and performance problems in Postgres that impact thousands of customers. Logical replication incidents, improving error reporting, perf bottlenecks identified via fleet data, and memory observability work happening right now were all influenced by what we've seen in Azure. And we take the open source commitment seriously. Over 500 commits in Postgres 18, and 18% of all reviews in that cycle came from Microsoft employees. And Microsoft continues to push for large and ambitious projects in Postgres, advancing the project. In PG18, we made significant contributions, including async I/O, OAuth infrastructure, improving partition table performance, and many more. And I wanted to highlight a few of them. Let's start with tuple deformation, which is the process of converting a tuple from the on-disk format into something that's understood by the executor. This happens for every row that is read, and so it can be the hot path for lots of queries. David Rowley from our team has been making lots of changes here, and in PG18, we improved performance by up to 40% for certain types of queries. Let's also talk about async I/O. How many of you, raise your hands, have heard of async I/O in Postgres? Okay. So async I/O in Postgres so far has been blocking, right? So the backend makes a request, the OS goes and fetches a page from disk, we place it in shared buffers, and then the backend can continue. Async I/O changes this, right? In PG18, we added a lot of the infrastructure. So new read stream APIs, new I/O worker infrastructure, and support for the I/O ring method. In PG18, sequential scans and bitmap heap scans use async I/O, but more use cases will start using these new APIs in the next new releases. This is a significant step forward and a path towards direct I/O in Postgres. If you want to know more, there's an episode of Talking Postgres discussing the feature with Andres Freund, the lead developer on the project. It really goes into the ins and outs of what it takes to develop a large feature like this, so highly recommended. Let's also look ahead to PG19 and 20. So as we speak, we're in the last commit fest for Postgres 19. The code freeze will be later this month or early next month. So some features might slip to PG20. On async I/O, Andres has been working on some of the infrastructure, including changing the way we do buffer locking to unlock the right paths to start using async I/O. Peter Gehagen and Tomasz Wondra have been working on index prefetching, which uses async I/O to prefetch heap tuples for index scans. And the performance numbers we've been seeing are pretty amazing. David Rowley continues to make improvements in tuple deformation, including pre-calculating offsets for fixed width columns and selective deformation as well. We're making changes and improvements in copy performance. Executor batching. So Amit Langote has been working on this. The executor in Postgres is sort of volcano style, so tuple at a time through the executor nodes. This project introduces the notion of a batch, currently between the table access method and the scan node. And this really helps reduce the per tuple executor node overhead as well. Ashutosh has been working on shared buffer elasticity. There's a talk later today, so I highly recommend you guys going and watching that. This allows you to change shared buffers either increase or decrease without needing a restart. And this is interesting because it helps unlock some interesting cloud architectures, right? So serverless or using things like CXL, Compute Express Link, where you can attach memory to existing VMs. These are all the talks by the Microsoft team in PGConf India. Some mostly happened yesterday, but please go take a look at the ones today as well. Let's talk cloud. So Postgres is suitable not just for developers writing the first line of code, but also enterprises migrating and deploying mission-critical apps. People choose Azure because of a focus on enterprise scenarios, and the household brands here leverage these features, and they trust Azure for their Postgres needs. Since last March, we've added a ton of new features. I'm just going to touch quickly upon a few of them. On-demand backups. This is really useful when you're making risky changes like schema changes or upgrades. You can trigger a backup right before the operation. The VS Code extension has been very popular, combines database management and development into a single streamlined experience. The online migration service makes it easy to move your Postgres databases to Azure, whether you're coming from on-prem, another cloud, or a VM. Cascading read replicas allows a two-tier read replication hierarchy, distributing read workloads and reducing pressure on the primary server. You can also deploy replicas in different regions, bringing data closer to your users and improving latency for global applications. The LangChain and LangGraph connectors, these are popular LLM orchestration packages, but they come with Microsoft Intra-ID authentication and DiskKNN vector indexing as well. We launched PG18 on day one of release, a nice achievement, and also reflects Azure's commitment to get the latest and greatest to our customers. You can now choose zonal resiliency, so HA nodes will be created in multiple zones. Fabric mirroring supports near real-time mirroring of your changes from Postgres into Fabric OneLake. The mirroring also converts it into Parquet, which is an analytics-ready format, and enables downstream scenarios like data engineering, data science, machine learning, and much more. PG18 went GA, and the features keep coming. Right? These are just some of the features in the last few months. We publish a monthly update about our new Azure Postgres capabilities, including guides and tools. The short URL will take you to the blog, so definitely go take a look. Another big advantage Microsoft offers is our global Azure footprint. Azure Database for Postgres is available in more than 60 Azure regions worldwide. But I'm also excited to talk about Azure Horizon DB, our next generation cloud-native database built on the rock-solid foundation of Postgres. Horizon DB is built for businesses that demand high availability, scalability, as well as enterprise-grade security. But it's also engineered for developers, offering the power of Postgres along native support for AI workloads with features such as vector indexing, semantic operators, and more. Horizon DB is built around some key tenets and on a strong foundation of Postgres. Resilience and availability are paramount for critical workloads. So single-digit second failovers, zone resilient storage, and redundancy at every layer make Horizon DB ideal for mission-critical workloads. Horizon DB is also built for performance. Predictable low latency of reads and writes, no impact of Postgres sync replication on performance, and we're also able to offload work like checkpointing to the storage layer. Customers have the ability to start small and sustain growth by scaling up to 192 cores or scaling reads to read replicas. Horizon also offers enterprise-grade security with Entra authentication, network security with private link, and encryption auditing as well. And finally, Horizon DB offers a rich set of integrations into the Azure Dev ecosystem with all the latest AI features as well. Let's quickly look at the architecture too. Each Horizon cluster offers a read-write and a read-only endpoint. Each compute node can scale up to 192 cores, and the cluster can scale to 15 replicas. Applications can connect to a load-balanced read-only endpoint and scale out reads. Databases can grow up to 128 terabytes with storage that auto-grows as needed. Writes on the write primary get written to the wall storage fleet, which is replicated 3 ways and backed by Azure Blob Storage. Wall then gets streamed to the data storage fleet, where the data pages are reconstituted, also replicated and backed by Azure Blob Storage. The data storage fleet serves these data pages to the compute nodes who cache them in the local SSD cache for performance. This is a decoupled compute and storage architecture where each layer can now scale independently. HorizonDB is in private preview right now with public preview and GA coming soon. If you want to do a deep dive into the architecture, Adam Prout, one of our lead engineers on the project, gave a talk at a CMU database class. So definitely go take a look as well. Let's talk Azure. Right? Let's talk AI. So disk and then semantic operators I'll talk about shortly. Graph-based RAG allows you to combine vector search with graph traversal to retrieve context that reflects true relationships in your data. LangChain and LangGraph connectors, we talked about that. LLM orchestration packages can make Postgres a single source of truth for AI agents, handling knowledge retrieval, chat history, and long-term memory in one place. We also offer an MCP server which will allow you to manage your Azure Postgres resources using natural language prompts. So you can query databases, list tables, retrieve schemas, and more without remembering complex query syntax. Last build, we announced the GA of DiskKNN, a state-of-the-art vector indexing algorithm developed by Microsoft Research. DiskKNN outperforms traditional vector indexing methods such as HNSW and IVF flat, both in terms of query latency and retrieval accuracy, while using less memory. Semantic operators in Azure Postgres give you a way to call advanced GenAI capabilities directly from SQL queries. And that's pretty powerful to leverage LLMs just from a simple SQL query. Let's talk about the VS Code extension for Postgres. With over 400,000 installs, it's been extremely popular with great feedback. The extension has a lot of amazing features like integrated local database setup, connecting to any server, schema visualization, query editing, query plan visualization, and much more. And you can chat with your data with your database in agent mode. It works with any Postgres database, so please give it a try. And there's a Poset talk which deep dives into the features for the extension as well, so highly recommended too. Finally, let's talk Postgres community. Right? Conferences, PG days, and events like PGConf India are a great way for the community to connect, learn, and grow. And Microsoft is proud to continue sponsoring events all over the world. These are some of the events and conferences we sponsored last year. This year, we're proud to be a diamond sponsor at PGConf India. Nordic PG Day is coming up in a few weeks, and PGConf Dev and Poset in the next few months as well. Microsoft doesn't just sponsor, but continues to have a significant presence in each of these. There's Poset coming up in June. Poset stands for Postgres Open Source Ecosystem, Talks, Training, and Education. It's free. It's virtual and annual, now in its 5th year. There were 236 talk submissions in 2026, and there'll be 44 talks across 4 different live streams. So there should be something for everyone on the schedule. We hope you join us live or watch the videos on YouTube after the event is over. There's also Talking Postgres, a podcast run by my colleague, Claire Giordano. Guests include Tom Lane, Andres Freund, Melanie Plageman, Robert Haas, Bruce Momjan, and much more. This is a great way to get a sense of the people behind the project as well. We'd also love feedback. So there's a link to the survey. If you fill it out, you get some exclusive blue socks. Please meet our team at the booth from Microsoft as well. Get more socks. And we're also hiring, and especially for the OSS team. So there's my email, so please reach out to me if you're interested. And thank you.